So this is me, and this is, do you know this device?
HoloLens, but adapted to HoloLens.
No, it's not HoloLens. DAQRI, exactly. You can't see it anymore on the website. They have some pivoting. And I'm from CD as a service and UX designer. And we also have some CD here. Timo Aho, he's an expert in AR. So if you have any technical question, it's better to ask. And Yves, he's very good at organizing a workshop and leading some teams. And I'm just talking from a practitioner from a design and business point of view. So over 2 years, we have been discussing many customers regarding augmented reality. Because we have HoloLens and DAQRI, we worked also HoloLens, and also we talked various amount of customers in different industries. Of course, we can't show everything. Actually, we can't show very much. But I can tell you what's a common value they are sharing, and how they also developed how to reach to find the right use cases. So I'm not going to talk about any technical things because I guess you are expert on that very much. So first, this is one capture of what kind of customers we had so far until right now. These are all talking about B2B industry. So we have worked with healthcare, constructions, maritime, who else? Public sector, of course, and also heavy manufacturing industries, and many different kinds, because you can apply to many industries. We can't limit, But so far, 70% or 10%, it's actually decreasing because many of customers has already HoloLens bought and has some clue what augmented reality is. And on the other hand, we have very clear mindset with the customers that we have this idea. Can you make it on Unity in 3 months? So we do this kind of job. But majority has a big question mark. They cannot just, they have to follow the trend, but they have to do something, but they don't know what to do. The first question they always ask us is, we are looking for good use cases. So if you say, okay, we can develop some application with a HoloLens 3 months, do they pay? I don't think so. They don't pay, and I think it's a risky job, risky business from our point of view, that we might end up with something, nothing. So we want to make customer happy. So how to find good use cases is a big question to start the right solutions. At the same time, as I said, nobody wants to have a budget first. Most of the time, customers don't have any allocated budget. So we can't talk about, whole 3-5 developers and a couple of designers and project managers working for even 1 month. That's way too much investment without convincement. So I want to discuss about how we can quickly verify use cases and with customers. And this is why I have some material. So first of all, I'm just going to recap something very basic about augmented reality. First of all, context is king instead of content king. So that means if our customer is talking about, we have a huge manufacturing facilities and we want to have some solution with augmented reality, what should we do? We need to visit, taking a plane in somewhere in the middle of nowhere and see what's there happening, what's the process they are doing, and is there any value to do for augmented reality. That's why context is king, and this is very important. Otherwise, just chatting and sticky notes and pen in an office room, you won't probably get the right use cases, can you? It's very simple logic. Then, seamless experiences. This is from a field trend, 2017, last year. So we will not have upsiders in augmented reality in the end. I don't think people wants to go in a certain corner, open Facebook app, and certain corner in the toilet to open a book. It's not the way. The computation should understand the context and needs of myself, and then provide right information on the right place. So it's also quite natural. And through our kind of hands-on experience with the customers, we tend to draw everything in one screen. This is what we do, most of the website. I mean, of course, if you turn to developing a mobile app, you have to have some kind of flows. So flows is in sequences. But, augmented reality, you are looking at such a complex world like this. And if you're having a couple information, that's already like raising a question, which information should I look first? And if you show three information at the same time, user definitely kind of confused what to look at. So it needs to be scenario-based and sequences. So those questions are always in our mind, and how can we put it our method to generate right use cases? And that's our challenges. And this is why we come up with a very hands-on paper prototype approach. There's no threshold with the technical skills. Anybody, any customer can just join, even CEO can join us and do some use case, creations. So we call it AR co-creation workshop. And the purpose is that we need to co-create use cases very, very, very quickly. And actually, some of you already have done this workshop. So you might can talk from different perspective rather than facilitators. Okay, so here's a video, quick video. This is a promotion, so it's kind of a, there's no sound. So you first ideate, of course, then you make a scenarios, which is creating context. It's, make a what user is thinking about, wants to do to complete the tasks. And this is basically a comic strip. So this is one shot, and you make another shot. That means you are making a sequences, storylines. And the best part is this method from SAP scenes. You can also download all materials from SAP scenes if you search. You don't have to draw by yourself. Everything is drawn already. And I have some material. That's why. So here's a background, which is a context. And here's a user.
CV solutions.
Here's a user you can define. This is a granny. But the user needs to have a voice or feelings, so you can put some speech bubbles. And I just tell you what happens in this kind of approach is that user is always the huge doubt. What the heck, why do I need to do this job for making AR? AR is supposed to be somewhere there. Why do I need to do pen and paper? But at a moment that you take photo and find a script, the shot in your mobile phone, you found, okay, right, I'm getting somewhere. I'm capturing scenarios. And if you make a slide, it's already making your virtual imaginary scenario in the slides where you can share with others. And this is why we are co-creating this. And here's one example from, we have to, Cheng has also participated. And I like this example from students from Alto, which we have done a couple of months ago. Of course, we have done with the customers, but some of them are very high confidential. So I like to show this one. So this was about kitchen assistant. And he and his group has done in few hours. And here's, I hope I can explain better. So, sorry. Here we go. So first, you get food. You know, nowadays people buy food online shop. Then, you know, you can buy almost any shop. You can cook Japanese food, but you don't know how to make Japanese food. But I know, but you don't know. You know, so how do you do if you know? You can buy anything, but you don't know how to cook. Then there's this, you know, now I don't know what to do with the food, but I'm interested in Japanese food or Indian food. Then I have people coming tomorrow or tonight. Then you can use HoloLens or whatever head-mount display. And this is where interesting things happens. And this is all done in a couple hours or even less than 3 hours. So you first cut. So you can see augmented reality telling you where to cut, how thick it is. Of course, that's the beginning. Then this piece of invention by us is a paper prototype of augmented reality where you can draw. And one thing I want to tell always is that always people draw too much first, and then try somebody. Michi, where should I look at? There's so many informations. Then okay, this is where you started making a sequences. So it's really good to have very embodied experience through this kind of crappy fonts. So, and this one already tell what exactly this is, so I don't have to really tell. This is already obvious prototype. Then you can also measurement is also what augmented reality is good at. So measurement, and this is also, you can see what it should do. It's all about communication. So then you have good stories. Now you manage to cook some very wonderful Indian food out of some special ingredients, and your guests are all happy. And the students, you guys have worked a few more days after 2 or 3 hours of this kind of work. Then made a video out of it, and I also love this video because it's so low tech, you know, doesn't require any coding. So I will show on the beginning. Is it so that somebody is holding camera on top of you? Yes. So it's not even stabilized. Then using After Effects to have some visualization. So you can see your idea is growing, you know, from few hours to few days. Maybe at this point you can start employ some developers, project managers, and so on, if you are more convinced. And this is kind of our approach.
You have time.
Okay.
How can I cut this pineapple?
So there's a voice UI. Yeah. So yeah, I think surprisingly, it's really telling a right message. It's communication as a communication tool. This kind of prototype is really telling the right message. You can say this is a bad idea, and that's okay. It only spent 3 days. That's okay. And that's our approach, because we want to shoot many bullets. We know we don't have any, silver bullet in the beginning. So we want to shoot and then select some of them, and then select some of them, and then finally we find one with a really confident. So then, of course, we are, running the proper Unity development with Timo and others. At the same time, we are running a co-creation workshop for the customers who are still wondering what they do. So after all, we have talked to so many customers. Then we started gathering those data and then comparing. Is anything common, anything variable? So this is something I want to tell most today. Is that, so what is AI is good at? Of course, technically you can do everything, but of course, there's a tendency where it fits better than others. So at the moment, our assumption is it's better in process innovation rather than product innovation, especially in industry. So process innovation means it's not generating new revenue. It's basically saving money, efficiency, productivity. And that's where augmented reality can play a big role with their employees because it's wearable. Then most of our customer has typical product life cycle. Let's say you're making a car. So you design a car. So when you design a car, you can use augmented reality. This is basically planning, right decisions. You have 2 or 3 options in augmented reality, and as a designer or project manager, choose one based on the right one, because there's a different data providing you to make right decision, and that's how design can be improved by augmented reality. So you won't make many mistakes with augmented reality. Manufacturing. So manufacturing is typically instruction. So if you go into a heavy industry, every single product is different because customer customize. So then it needs to be instructed by each employees or factory workers to make that products, and can be different ways. So augmented reality can tell, okay, if you put screw A here, screw C there, then you go backwards and you turn something and stuff like that. Then at the same time, they're all digitalized. So you can report automatically what the worker is doing. So you can monitor it from a management point of view that, okay, this product has been in this process right now because they are all monitored. I don't want to say that very much, but it's possible to monitor. And distribution means, point of sales. You can sell your cars so that you can demonstrate cars in augmented realities. And utilization is when you're using actual product. You can, there's a one car, there's a Bosch has an application or something that how to change oil in the car or something like that, or how to change something like. And maintenance is also big. So if you are in a heavy industry, you send a product to the customer, but you need to keep, maintenance, provide a maintenance services. Then instead, sometimes the very high skilled engineers are sitting in headquarters and customers in, let's say, in China, and customer calling, okay, we need to fix, then do you travel? And those guys are very highly needed everywhere. They have to travel everywhere. Instead, they can remotely tell what customers should fix it if it's simple to do it. And also identify what's the problem. Because in our user research, this is a maintenance operation. 80% is just spending time to find what is the problem. if you know a problem, many of customers who is making actual product knows how to fix it. So to find the right problem, augmented reality is rather easier because you have a first-person point of view to the customer. And recycle, I have no idea. I haven't seen any example, so maybe that's an opportunity. Yeah, so to have much more time. Okay, then I just show quickly some gathered use cases exist based on the product life cycle. So advertisement, in-store experience. This is a slightly old, but still it shows different touch points from product making to
That's cool.
healthcare. That's interesting.
How is it?
It's overlaying your scan. Indoor navigation, that's already inbuilt most of the augmented reality headset. This is already happening, and this is what Google Glass can do. It's a very simple. So this is more like instructional, giving an instruction how you should do it. This is for training. So when it comes to very complicated,
something realistic already. This one.
I would say this is from HoloLens, and but we have done very similar project with one of our global company. This is, we also had one project who we have to bring augmented reality outside in construction area. That was quite challenging because we worked was 500 square meters large.
Cool.
Yeah, and safety is something that also, this area can be very dangerous because jet engine, so it can also overlay. So, but I don't want to limit to this. There's a plenty of approach. That's why we want to do this kind of a easy way to create. And this is Staggery remote communication. So teleconference kind of, expert can be here in Helsinki, and your customer can be in China to get instructions. So designing. So after all, maybe you can capture this. This is what we found most suitable at the moment approach to apply it in an industry in augmented reality. We recently add digital transformation because many customers still use pen and paper. If you bring augmented reality, actually it's already digitalized many of things at the same time. Yes. So this is kind of what we are at from CD, and we are still working on. Thank you.
Thank you. So how many questions?
Yes.
Do you have time to give a break?
Well, I have one question.
Yes.
With augmented reality, especially like when it comes to VR, you're still in the space where you put this bulky headset and it's okay. But when you're in AR, then you put something and then you have to interact with people. And so far, like I can see the scenario in construction work when you can put the headset because it almost looks like a helmet. But like once you develop projects for actual like real people that have to interact with other people, what the reactions of people that like not wearing the goggles themselves? Yeah,
some customer code is resistance.
Yeah, it's pretty like
Yes.
at this stage it's really hard.
But this is also company strategy how to introduce such a new technology to their employees. And first, currently, what I would recommend is focus on planning Yes,
Sorry,
I know city.
Take it serious.
But this is very creative stuff.
I know. It's,
Be open to having a conversation with a
Yeah,
person
like-
like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
between the eye contact,
I'm trying to.
it just it doesn't feel like I'm talking to you anymore. It feels
Yeah.
like I'm talking to the plastic one.
That's a good question. We haven't really dived into that other than this resistance.
Yeah.
So resistance means some workers, like a large amount of employees who do field work. They believe their hands the most accurate, and even having mobile phones took ages to get them to be comfortable. But now trying to apply augmented reality headset, it's another story. So it will take some time. But from a company management team point of view, they want to see clearly what's the value for their company. So, and if you can use for planning, if you can plan faster, that means less cost for planning. If you can plan better choices, that means you optimize your business process. And this is where we can start. Then you can start gradually introduce to the
I have a
large.
feeling that the beauty will be considered less because there's going to be some sort of screen in front of your face, and then
Yes.
people can't really access to actually look you in the eyes and
Yes.
facial expression.
Yes,
So
this is what
even though I'm inside of this whole industry, it's still quite of like a big
Yes.
for me to wear those things.
Yeah.
Does the same thing happen with sunglasses as well?
Yeah, but like
They look good.
they look good.
Couldn't they look good? Like, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
why couldn't they look good? in
Probably
a-
the first sunglasses were not that good in looking.
Just like having a conversation and then, having these, as said, different, fast messaging services and so like took the conversation to a completely different form. Like, hey, I'm not able to see you anymore. I'm still having a quality conversation with you. It was a, paradigm shift in the sense as well. Like, you just have to adapt to what enhances your quality of life and be okay about that and have arguments that.
Actually bringing the thing that was told in the previous presentation, there is still like psychological things playing a big role because
Yeah.
the eye contact and those micro expressions that your face express with like little things, those also take place.
If those are communicated with notifications or some kind of, okay, she's feeling like that. Okay, maybe I'm not going there. Having a conversation like that. It was not interesting.
So there are also approaches to augmented reality that don't actually block your vision, such as the HoloLamp or these holographic displays that are placed so in the environment and display holograms, but don't block your vision. So that's one way to approach it as well.
So like there's body locked and world locked kind of like approach to this agency control that you're having, like either you're controlling things that happen there or things that happen here.
Or let's say a window that displays information that's happening on the other side. And it's augmented reality, but it doesn't gain much vision.
Great. Maybe we'll get to that with the roundtables. Any more questions for Michi? I have one more question.
Yes.
So, have you tried? Now you're explaining it that you're prototyping with this kind of like paper solution. Have you tried any digital solutions? Are there some?
Good
out
question.
there?
That takes another 20 minutes. I have materials though.
Okay.
I will tell you one. This is really daily basis challenges. As a designer, we don't have a proper tool. I use Sketch, Illustrator, Flint of whatever prototyping tool, and nothing works.
So nothing works.
I need to jump into the Unity.
Yeah, I need to understand code.
And-
So this was something that we were
Yeah.
talking about earlier on.
So
So, question for Michi.
This is not a real question, this is more like an observation.
right.
Why didn't anybody invent a phone which looks like a Venetian mask? Because you could have the augmented reality with the eye holes and then kind of like, I don't know,
Eye holes. Yeah.
like a old-fashioned mask for like masquerade.
Well, I think it's like
Like a moldable phone.
We can ask Vario.
I think it requires the micro display, which is not there yet.
You're kind of right. The most common question I get for VR people complaining is my makeup is getting messed. I don't have makeup, but most people
yeah,
do.
yeah.
And I think this is the problem.
The most common the question I get every time I bring, I have a glasses, can I wear with glasses?
Yeah.
That's the first things. And I said yes, but they don't still believe. So I have to demonstrate, okay, now you have to, because glass is more important than HoloLens. Actually, HoloLens is more expensive than your glasses.
Okay, one more question. I have one more question.
Yes.
So, have you experimented with these multimodal interfaces that include gesture commands, voice? You know, have you been experimenting with?
Yeah, I have.
You have?
It's okay, but I, for instance, use my mirror devices for this Dagri project, because Dagri doesn't have any gesture. You have to move your cursor by moving head. To click, you have to stay looking at somewhere for 1 second, then it's click. Yeah. So it's like, you know, you cannot just run and do something. You always need to stop carefully, then do some actions. So we wanted to, you know, as a user, we always want to feel like touching the actual digitization. So we tried to use mirror. But at the same time, if you have a free hand gestures, is it really what we are looking for? Probably most of the things of the digitization nowadays happening in the virtual realities, click, drag, you know, pan, zoom. So it's very limited than what finger can do. So if finger can just dive into, you know, for instance, meta demo was somebody, you know, on the stage was touching object, but I didn't really get it, any use case, because most of the things I work with the customer is do some actions and complete actions, what they want to do. And in that case, click, choose, click, navigate, and they are quite limited compared to what human can do. So in that case, I basically didn't find very useful. But there should be somewhere that in between that human hands can do, and also between mouse and hands, somewhere in between. That's what I feel right now, but we don't have any solution.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Mishihito.
Thank you.